So this one's a pretty hard one, okay? Facing towards you. So you can say test your skills, okay? So I'm gonna draw this out first, and once I've drawn it out, then we can try to do a painting beside it, okay? So just looking at the head. Okay, so you see pretty much this side, the right side of the face a bit more, so hence why I did this sort of shape, okay? And that's how I sort of see, you know, you can make it round, up to you. Okay. So top and bottom. So roughly the bottom of the belly, around here. Yeah, you can sort of say around the head size down. And this one you can also do a head size up. And the fin can go up further. Okay, so this will give you an idea, the top and bottom. Okay. So once you've got that, then you could try to make sense that the body, like see how that bulge here, and that's the belly. It's pretty much the same height as or it actually comes around into the cheek. So you could sort of roughly go, yeah, that's the bottom, and then all the way around. Okay, so you can make this flatter, up to you. So that's the belly. Okay, and there's a bit of a hunch, okay, on this fish's back. So that's the hunch. So head, belly, hunch. Okay, so that's pretty much where the tail would be. It's behind here. So the eyes can exaggerate a bit more. So it takes up quite a bit of the head, and it comes out like so, and on the other side. So okay. So yeah, one thing which I probably could try to do is make that as one streamline motion from the head all the way to the mouth. So with my fin, it's pretty much just goes out of the page, so it's up here somewhere. Okay. Yep, so doing the eyes, so the eyes, it tends to goes towards the outside. So these are the, let's say, pupils. So it looks outward. And the gill comes around, and then this forms the mouth. You can give it a bit of a lip down the bottom. Okay. So once you've got all these lines in place, you can just go over with it, just so we know that the silhouette's there of the body. Okay. Okay, with the fins, so I suspect it should be behind the gill, so The gill should be maybe back here, I guess, as it fans out. And the one on the other side. So pretty much underneath the mouth. Okay. So the tail, you can be quite fancy, okay? When we actually do it, the strokes, you can pretty much do whatever you like with it. So to me, I think these 3 points, the top of the fin, 2 fins down the bottom, it creates a triangle. So if you can create that fish's shape out of these, okay, that's I think the good first step to go. And I'm just putting lines here just to show the back fins of the others behind these 2. So gill behind here, behind here. So if you were to do very accurately of how the tail should go, you can see where the eye pupil is. So this line that cuts across, so this one here, okay, so this one goes pretty much right at the pupil, okay, so you could go out and that's your line, and here you could do your wavy tail. So it looks like it's turning. So you see more of the tail on this side, and then you see this, the right side of the face, and it looks like it's turning this way. So this is the spine, okay, of the fish. Of the center line. Okay, so you could do, all these details after. So when we're doing this one later with the tails, you just have to make sure you aim at like a center point when you do your strokes. Alright, so we're going to do a painted version one next to it now. So you could do the eyes first, and mouth, and do all the details. And you try your best to try and match, okay, the one that you did before. So I'm going to do it slightly smaller so I could fit more of the fin and the tail at the back. So we'll just do one eye first, so you can sort of get a feeling, okay, where the other one is. Okay, so next I'm actually gonna do the gill and then the mouth after that. So I'm exaggerating a little bit, the mouth doesn't have to be this high, okay? or it doesn't have to be like a square. You can make it like this if you want, up to you. So the next part after this, I'm going to change brush. I'm going to use my medium-sized brush. I'm soaking my brush into ink and water a bit. I'm trying to make it a little bit, let's say, grey in my belly of the brush. Okay, so the tip of the brush, I'm going to put a bit of ink. Now what I'm trying to do next is I'm trying to create this eye. So if you're not confident how much ink is in your brush, you could start from the face first, so you could adjust. So you could just go, say, around the eye gently. So it will bleed if you're using a bit of water in your brush, so just be careful of that. So just the tip of the brush, adding a bit of black, okay, and just go around. Now that I know my brush a bit more, now I'm trying to figure out, okay, the eyes will roughly be here. Can make it come up a bit. So look at the highest point of the hump. It's pretty much just above the eye. Okay, so like this one, just above the eye. So think about the right eye and think about how high your spine will reach. Okay, so just give a rough line like so.
That's the top of the hump?
Yes, top of the hump, yeah. Probably went a little bit too far back, but it should be here, but yeah. So next, adding a slight bit of ink. So I'm gonna go having my brush sort of a bit flat and then work this plane. So this is the front side of this, from the fish's nose all the way to the forehead and to the spine. So having angles to the side. And just to create that plane. So when you do it, see how this eye pops out on that side now. Now you could think about how you're going to do those body, okay? So there's a hump here and then belly. So belly will be roughly here. So like over here, we talked about the belly is pretty much starting from the top of the head, okay, so here, and then connects to the chin. So just roll, coming around like this. So the gray is starting to come out. So this is just the hump on the top. And then the belly, start from here, coming around. So see how it's getting light? Now you use the tip of the brush, find the bottom, okay? So this is the bottom part of the belly. So again, it's right underneath the eye. So we're trying to find here, bottom part of the belly, and you connect to the mouth over this side. So I'm just going to add a bit of ink to my brush, just the tip only. So I'm going to do my fin. So all I did is just flat and then lift it up and hook towards the top of the hump there. So around the eyes, I'm just gonna gently just go around it just to make it come out a bit more. So here you could give a hint of like scales, just gently dab a few black spots or black ink, or you can create those scales roughly. It'll bleed a little bit, but that's okay. Just gonna go around the eye a bit. Yep. So at this point I won't worry too much about this fin over here because this area here is still wet. So I'm going to work on this side of the fin. So this fin here, okay, it's pretty much, if you know where the pupil is on the right eye, so mainly aim towards that. So here, start here, and then you could do a fan out like this. So again, you can do a line and then fan out. Now think about where this tail that's gonna come out on this side is going to be. So you can look on the other side to try to balance it out. So this fin pretty much just circles in to connect to the tail. So you go here and slowly lift up and towards the eye. You can fix this up a bit, yeah, like this. So here this line needs to aim towards the eye, okay. So that's the bottom part of the tail. So here I'm going to add a bit of water. Okay, I'll try to lighten it up. I'm going to do the tail at the back. So all this is quite dark, right? So we want to make the tail as light as possible to push the head forward. So adding a bit of water. So out to in, out to in. Okay, so all I did is just 2 strokes like this. Okay, now think about the shape over here. So this one is this line where it finishes the tail, so here. So just below the eye if you can. So and here it looks like a part of a triangle. So those who've done lotus leaves, okay, very similar technique. So with this fin here, I'm just going to use a fine brush, okay, because if I use a medium-sized brush, it'll probably bleed into the body. So instead of doing like this technique, of the fin, I'm just gonna pretty much just draw it out. Okay. So this is safer, okay, so it doesn't ruin this part of the area. So all I did is just the veins and on the edges of the fin. So now I'm gonna add a bit of strokes like so. Okay, just to do only the white bits. And now you can just add a few more details, so you could see how this belly area is quite white. You could just add a few sort of lines just to make it blend a bit better. Alright, so once you've got all that done, you can, so if this is slightly wet, you probably don't want to go too quickly on it, but for the sake of showing you, I could do a quick version. Okay. Can you see it now? Yeah, this fold is probably the tricky part, okay? Because you have to thin this area in to make that illusion that it folds. I think to even make it better is this one is to curve it in. Like that. Gives a bit more sharper fold.